This is going to be quite a personal video response, but I hope it will be interesting as a video in its own right. There is too much arguing and not enough conversation between theists and non-believers, in my opinion, so I'm grateful when someone such as Raw5069 takes the trouble to address my questions and even make a video for me. Not so long ago, South Dakota Girl 30, who is friendly with a number of non-believers, was bullied and harassed to the point she closed her account. That is terrible, and those doing the persecution should be ashamed of themselves, but probably aren't. It seems there are people on both sides of the debate who don't want to speak to each other beyond hurling abuse and ridicule. Not only that, but some theists describe the theists who do talk to us non-believers as weak and effectively talking to demons or the devil. I've said it before, but I consider myself a human first, and agnostic atheist is merely a description of my current views on one particular but rather important subject. The way I see it is this. So far, I have been unable to get what religious people describe as the gift of faith, which is part of what convinces them that God is real, and that Jesus died for them so that their sins could be forgiven. The fact that I don't get it doesn't mean I'm right, but if we apply logic to this, there are a number of possibilities. Because my conclusions are different from that of a typical Christian, we can't both be right. We could both be wrong, or partially wrong. This is why I'm happy to discuss my thoughts as well as listen to those on the other side of the theological fence. I'm curious to know whether I and millions of other skeptics have got it badly wrong. As I said before, I'm a human first, so if I discover anything which helps bring us closer to the actual empirical objective truth, then I'll be sharing it here. I want what's best for humanity. I'd rather help bring people together than join in the fighting which drives us apart. I'd like to take whatever steps I can to try to see the world through the eyes of a Christian, but there are going to be obstacles. It's been suggested that I should try out believing, talk to God and/or Jesus, and ask to be shown some kind of sign which will convince me I'm not simply talking to thin air. The difficulty with the believing part is that making myself believe something which seems unbelievable is a bit like a parent who tells their child to say sorry after they hit their sister or something. They may well say they're sorry, but there's a good chance they don't actually feel any remorse. In the past I have spoken and thought questions at God, but it felt like I was talking to myself or nothing at all, and I didn't receive any sign or response. I'm going to try it again when I have a quiet moment, and if anything happens, I'll describe it in a future video. If I do experience something unusual, then there's a chance that I will conclude that I've had some kind of a hallucination or something. But I'm jumping the gun, as nothing is likely to happen or not happen until I try it out. There's also confirmation bias to take into account. If I really want something to be true, then there's a chance I'll be blind to the evidence which doesn't back up my wishes. The concept of being born again spiritually raises a whole load of questions. I realize that I need to successfully go through this process to be able to see and appreciate that faith is a virtue and not a handicap, which is how it seems to me at the moment. If I can do it, and God really is real, He'll be able to determine whether I'm serious and sincere enough to be approved for this. The thing is that I have doubt in my mind about some of the things which believers claim. They say the Bible was inspired by God, but I think it originated in the minds of men. Of course, I may yet be proven to be wrong about that. Then there are the definitions. What exactly is spirituality? Is it just one's thoughts, or is it a whole realm of existence which is undetectable from this physical world? If we could never detect it from here, then how can it attach to reality? Or is it just an idea which has been mistaken for something real, in a similar way to how the radio play of War of the Worlds in the 1930s caused mass panic because so many believed it to be real. The definition of God is another tricky thing to get a proper grip of. What is God? Is he the creator of the universe, who literally did his stuff less than 10,000 years ago, and planted lots of false evidence to confuse us into thinking the universe is orders of magnitude older? Or did he create everything 13.7 billion years ago, and then allow the laws of physics to determine what happened next? Did he literally talk to and interact with humans a few thousand years ago, and did those humans literally live for several hundred of years? Does he really answer prayers, or are we on our own during this life? Is the creator of the universe Yahweh, or Allah, or Odin? Are all the different gods actually the same supreme being, just seeming different to different people at different times and different locations? You see, the trouble with someone like me is that it's hard to distinguish which of the many and varied religious claims are right, indeed, if any of them are right. I hope those of you who have faith don't think I'm being facetious with my barrage of questions. I would be misrepresenting myself, though, if I didn't put my cards on the table at this point. As I said before, I have a lot of doubt in my mind, not just about religious claims, but about my own conclusions too. In other words, I'm ignorant about a whole load of stuff, and prepared to be shown to be wrong, or to remain in the dark. As far as I'm concerned, a lot of the fun in life is unraveling the mysteries, trying to figure out how it all fits together. I've watched the video I'm responding to twice, and this is my initial response, but there's more I'd like to say, so hopefully I'll have time to make a follow-up to this. Thanks for watching.